All right, let's get right into this one. The Lions, you might have seen this by now, have been rumored to be in play strongly for Christian Wilkins. And this is a big name free agent, going to be in one of those like top tier guys to go early for big money. And the Lions seem to be really in on this. And so I guess the more that Craig and I have done this channel and looked at stories, and, we're not insiders by any means, but there are certain stories that's like, that kind of makes sense. Heard about it more and more from different sources, different areas. So it kind of adds up more than the fun stories of like, hey, we could go after this guy or this guy. This one feels more real than any of them, and I think this is why. If we look at it, Graziano from ESPN says he expects the Lions and the Texans to potentially be contending to land Dolphins tackle Christian Wilkins. Now, why do we say Lions and Texans? Well, the Lions are pretty good cap space wise right now, just because we haven't really got to the full portion of paying all of our guys, like our main guys, Penei Sewell, right? All those guys. St. Brown might be coming up here or might sign. We know Jared Goff, but still in a very healthy cap space situation. Houston Texans, same thing. They have CJ Stroud on his rookie deal. They got a lot of wiggle room, and they want to get better defensive tackle wise. So if you look at after Chris Jones signed, and so when he signs, and then the Ravens signed their defensive tackle to a $100 million deal, Wilkins became the best free agent defensive tackle and is due for an enormous payday. He is 28, which is fine, but he's coming off his best career high in 9 sacks, 61 pressures, which is 9th most among defensive tackles. So he's a dominant run defender as well. So we know pairing him next to our guy, our defensive tackle, what the heck's his name? Can't even think of his name. I'll think of it in a second. Our defensive tackle that we currently have, and then what we're going to be able to do is then focus in the draft on another maybe defensive end, or corner, of course. So if you look at it, and we'll get back to this in just a second, but when Aleem McNeil, thank you. Aleem McNeil, our defensive tackle, partner him with Aleem McNeil. Now we're stout up the middle. I believe that less than most people that we need an edge rusher, because we have Aiden Hutchinson. And then if you look on the other side, remember James Houston is coming back. And then I think what we're doing is going to go on the lower end of things, kind of mid-range free agent, sign one, maybe draft one. But I don't think that is where the Lions' priority is. I think it's going to be interior offensive line is priority 1. Priority 2 is corner, then the defensive line. And I even think defensive tackle before defensive end. The Lions just did not have the play that they wanted from John Kaminsky. Josh Pascal is going to be better, I think, next year. But where's that inside push that the Lions struggled with, even though they finished outstanding in run defense, which was just really fun to watch all year. The Lions were really good run defense, and we took that for granted, and we kind of bashed on Aaron Glenn, but we stopped the run, and that's what kept us in almost every game. And yes, we gave up big plays to the receivers, but being able to stop the run is so important. So Christian Wilkinson is in play, and it's something that I'm curious to see how that will pan out. Now, if you look at some more numbers on him, here's his run defense grade, and he's always just been really solid, especially in 21, 22, and 23. So the Lions have a need at defensive tackle with Aleem McNeil and Levi. Oh, geez. Levi is another one, right? Just not quite there. Healthy scratch. Really need to see him come on. Broderick Martin was a 3rd-round pick last year. Need to see him do something. Chris Smith, undrafted out of Notre Dame. And that's it. So you got Aleem McNeil at defensive tackle. Need something there. Would love to see Christian Wilkins. That'd be awesome. And can't wait to see what happens there. Because if you look at USA Today, did top 50 free agents available going into this year. Saquon Barkley's 1, Justin Simmons, Kirk Cousins, and then at number 4 be Christian Wilkins. So there the Lions are going to be playing in areas that they don't typically, meaning we're going to go after a high-priced free agent right when free agency starts. Now, remember, tomorrow is when that tampering period begins. So I'd be really curious to see what comes of that and what we hear, because you never know. You never know what might come out of that, because the Lions typically in years past are going after guys 1-year deals. Jalen Reeves-Maybin from, you know, a couple of years ago, like those types of moves. But I would love to see us get really aggressive just with one player in free agency and really fill a hole and just get a blue chip better player. Also, the Lions have tendered Craig Reynolds. So Craig Reynolds will almost certainly be returning to the Lions, and it's a 1-year league minimum deal. So I love it. Bring him back. I've made the case that that third string running back would love if it was a little bit better, but Reynolds fits the culture. He knows he's a good third down back or third back, because we really don't need a third back. The way our offense and the way our two backs operate so well, they really, I mean, I would really expect us to be 50-50 next year, which is great. You can't have one single running back. Most teams don't have one running back, let alone two. So Lions have two capable running backs that can play all 4 downs, can be in there at any time. Love what Jahmyr Gibbs is going to do next year. Are you kidding me? In year 2, wait till you see what he looks like, how fast he is. And then what I love is, yeah, Craig Reynolds can come in. He's solid. He even plays a little bit of special teams, kick return, which doesn't matter because we all know that the kick return or the kickoff and all that's basically been taken out of the game. Although I did see they are going to bring that. They're looking at some modifications on how to do that so that play comes back into the game. Right now, it's a wasted play, basically. And what they're saying is either we need to just put the ball in the 25 and say go, or they need to bring that back. So what they're going to do is basically put the kickoff team and the receive team really close together and say, okay, go for it. Right. Kind of almost the XFL did something similar to this, but I like that. It's a wasted play. Give me something. There can be a fumble. There could be something happens in there. So bring back the kickoff. Okay. I don't know why I started on there. Now, if you're new to the channel and you've watched this long, appreciate you joining us. We talk all Detroit Lions. Make sure you subscribe. It really helps us out. It's just an easy way to help us. It just makes us adds to the validity of the channel. It's like, oh, they have 20,000 subs. They must know what they're talking about. So please subscribe, especially if you watched this long into the video. We will be live for the draft. That's coming up the end of April. We will be going live for that. Really excited. Can't wait to really experience the draft. It's going to be in Detroit. We can't wait to watch it and see what happens and see who the Lions pick all the way down to 29, which is nice. Hopefully Brad Holmes doesn't trade out of that and we don't have a pick in the first round. He hinted at that. And it's like, oh, come on. All right. Let me know your thoughts in the comments and we'll see all of you on the next one.